and other 5% go $1 trillion more a year, get $1 trillion. Nobody but God, the building countries. But we and all the other countries we are respected again. Our country, the U.S., is respected again. Was not respected 6 months ago.
Yeah, Mr. President, go ahead. Coming up on trade to what countries trade on tariffs? Yeah. What countries need tariffs for the administration?
Well, it's an interesting question. We've made a deal with China. We've made a deal with probably 4 or 5 different countries. With the UK, with a deal for both. And we're in the process of making some others. But ultimately, in fact, started here. How I think these guys are doing an incredible job. The people that work with them are doing an incredible job. But we have 200 countries, because 200 countries response. We can't do that. So at a certain point over the next week and a half or so, or before, we're going to send out a letter. We talked to many countries, so we're going to tell them what they have to do business in the United States. And get over quickly. Some of the big countries, so India, I think, will reach a deal where we have the right to go and trade. Right now, it's restricted. You can't even think about it. We could get a full trade barrier dropping, which is unthinkable. And I'm not sure that's going to happen, but as of this moment, we agree that India are going to be trading China. It's going to come a little bit down the road. We're going to be trading China. We have a lot of things going. We're getting all the countries, but some are disappointed because of the tariffs. And we've taken in already hundreds of billions of dollars in tariffs. No inflation. The only problem we have a Fed that doesn't understand what's happening. So we agree to below the rate because people tomorrow will cheaper. You know what I mean? Don't keep it on the subject. This is such a big topic. You know, my trade is so big, but this, I don't know. It's so big. I think this is a good trade. Go ahead.
The transgender ruling is very important. Ruling that parents would resist objections and hold kids out of public lessons that use LGBTQ material. Brought up. You're actually that ruling.
I think the ruling was a great ruling. It's a great ruling for parents. It's really a ruling for parents. They lost control of the schools. They lost control of the child. And this is a tremendous for parents. I'm not surprised by it, but I'm surprised it went this far. It took us to bring it to normal, so it's wonderful. It's mental. And I kept saying we will keep parental. They've taken away, and this is a tremendous victory for parents.
If you look at the back of the budget, it's extreme in terms of the hacking the middle secure the peg.
Now, he hasn't.
Now, if you believe that Iran, naturally believe that Iran has been its long history of ambition with nuclear weapons. So what would you like to see from them to prove they do? And what type of meetings is your district looking for next week with Iran?
So Iran wants to meet. As you know, there's a liberated, a very evil nuclear site who now hasn't proven hit them for a while. The same people that covered the Hunter laptop were from Russia. The same people that did 3 or 4 of the Russia hoax. What was they came up with something that delayed the credit that a great pilot and screamer. I mean, they what talent that was, and hit it right down in the spot, 52,000 feet. Think of this dark, no moon could see thing, and the refrigerator door. That's such a dark, and overwhelmingly, and it's amazing what was done. We're the only one that could have done it. And took out the other sites also. In addition to that, we fished them all. It's a very evil intention. I believe that again, I'm tell, but I don't believe it's going to go back to nuclear attempts soon. They spent over $1 billion in nuclear. They've got it together. Nothing was on the side of the two. That is very dangerous, very, very heavy material. Those are most likely because of misses because they were pouring concrete at the top of the hatch. As you know, the hatch going to the nuclear site, wanted to reinforce it and had some masons there pouring concrete. By the way, the concrete was obliterated exactly at the concrete. It was something that had a chance to dry, but everything's down there. It's under billions of tons of rock. Please. Yes. Well, look, we've had a great relationship with El Salvador. They have fantastically built a massive business system, and I don't know exactly why, but the hell it is. And we bring people there, and when they go, they don't get out. Frankly, they have to go. They become nice people. They cover nice people. It's a tough system, but it's a brilliant system, and it's a system by a very, very good. I'll talk about El Salvador. Respect. Yeah.
As you go into negotiations and talk with Iran, are you not only that there will be no winning production inside Iran, also that Iran will turn over all existing stocks?
Well, literally, that, something like that. Something like that. Let me say that. I've been saying for 25 years, even as a civilian, you cannot let them have nuclear weapon in this one. It's no other. It'll be years before they can ever get going. And I really think it's probably less than they have to recover from a hell of a tough war.
You also admitting that the IAEA have full weights inspect Iran.
Yeah, we're somebody that we respect, including ourselves.
And a question for the Attorney General. Under precedent, who would be tasked with actually vetting citizens? And how, would this be situated on nurses and doctors, checking percent of parents?
This is a pending litigation. It's going to be decided in October by Supreme Court. We'll South Africa litigation.
If you have a document today, would that be then the enforcement priority?
The violent criminals in our country are priority. Now, let me put it in perspective. Today marks 2,711th arrest in our country of TA members. Just TA. Everyone in this room agrees they are the most violent criminal organization in the world. And the Biden administration let them walk into our country for the last 4 years. 2,711 today have been arrested in our country. This priority, Donald Trump, has a priority of Homeland Security, all of our laws at FBI. At the priority, that will be discussed in October when the Supreme Court rules in our favor. I'm very confident about it. You should all be safe for now. The President Trump deport all of these, getting one district court judge can temper over the administration and executive power and why the people of the United States elected him.
I just made add one thing, and they use birthright citizenship of the word people, some of the cartels take people into our country, and they had to say, look, the end of the Civil War, the 1800s, to a very turbulent time. You take the end of 1869 or whatever, but you take that as dates when the case was filed. And then shortly after, this had to do with the babies of slaves, very, very obviously. And I think when people did, they were about discussing it, right, came along and we looked at it and we said, wait a minute, this is wrong. We've been looking at birthright citizenship wrong for years. But they do the cartel abuse birthright citizenship to get bad people, and PEMS doing, and we're taught everybody else why they're doing it here, and all over FBI, ICE, border people. They're incredible people. They're trying to keep our country safe, and they don't want people coming. It's just another way that they get illegal immigrants into our country, and in some cases, very, very big. Good.
On Capitol, if I could for a moment, Senator Arisa changed her right now after the parliamentarian ruled that for a lot of process through through. Do you think that senators should respect decisions of the parliamentarian? What have you personally done in the last 48 hours to try and get Republican senators working still to yes?
Well, look, it's a good bill. It's a massive tax cut. If it's not approved, your taxes will go up by 68%. I think that's 60% higher than the history. The Democrats won't approve it only because politically it's so good for the Republicans. The Democrats are approving. Think of what they're not approving. They're not approving border security. You've done a great job at the border. We have to add some more. We have to do various things. We have no money for that. We have no money for the border. We have money for so many things. But if Democrats, if you're interested to see again any Democrat votes, we do it. If I were a Democrat, would happen to be better and see it would be more sensible one lady. If I were a Democrat, I'd vote for this bill all day long because it's Texas and so many things that are common sense, basic things. I think they're doing fine. The parliamentarian's been a little difficult. And I say that I disagree with the parliamentarian on some things, and otherwise it's been fine. We'll have to say it's a big issue. We'll say that if the bill doesn't pass, the country will get 68% tax increase. So I think that you're a Democrat and vote against it. That means you're voting in favor, because essentially voting in favor of the largest tax hike in the history of our country. And you can't do that. It is cutting costs by $1.7 billion from 1 to 10, but it's just fraud, waste, and abuse.
Mr. President, a leading global economist in the Canadian says we're Tehran made that smart everybody with. What is your message?
I love this. I love this question. It's the best question I've ever heard, because I can go through this for years on this. Because you know we're taking hundreds of billions of dollars. No inflation whatsoever.
What's your message to Tehran cause a recession?
I think we go back to business school. It's so obvious. So I mean, we're taking in billions and billions of dollars from China and a lot of other countries. I had a call from Saudi in the House and high official. Sir, we have a problem. We don't know what to do. Books are a mess. I mean, I boast about the money coming in. So I forget. Oh boy, what's it? I like this question. What's it? There's so much money coming in, and there's some kind of account. We have hundreds of billions of dollars more money than we thought. I said, do me a favor, check the call me back. Have to call me back. Check the tariff column. He calls back 2 hours later and says, you're right. We took 88 billion in tariffs. There's so much money coming in. But more important than money coming in, you have companies coming in, factories coming in, oil plants being built, AI being built here instead of being built all over Europe and Asia. We have over $15 trillion. Just, but I think we're at that number. We went to Saudi Arabia, we went to Qatar, we went to UAE, very smart people, very smart leaders, and we can type in $1 trillion just there. And they also like a thing called November 5th, November 6th, November 7th. That was a very little period of time. It's called a presidential election. You know, you have one election, now you have over it. If you just got a little, it was pretty obvious it was going to be a landslide. But, and like that, but they love tariffs. I had Texas Instruments the other day, a big company, and he said, we'll put in $60 billion to new plants and new equipment, new everything. Sir, you're going to keep the tariffs off you because I took the tariffs off, and we're going to absolutely keep it. And the word that somebody that, like this communist from New York, somebody gets all tips, believe that's happening. It's a terrible thing for our country, by the way. It's communist. We're going to go to a communist state. It's so bad for New York, but the rest of the country is revolting against it. But if somebody not like it, they're afraid it's just taken off. We'll guarantee it's not going to be taken off. Again, we're taking hundreds of billions of dollars. They were all confused because they've never seen this before. Yet so the other, we don't have enough money. So much money coming in, at opposite nobody's ever seen. But most important, we have factories being built, power plants being built, companies moving parts like everywhere. They built it for 15 billion, not in a few months. We haven't done that long. Presidents like Lester was a disaster. He was president of this country, by the way. He did it on our border, and very forgot. To me, it's the worst of all things, and it's done some terrible things. Nobody knew it was him, but I think it was whoever was involved with the other hand. But our country is doing great, and those leaders and other leaders are just, as you know, a large group of the most silenced people. And then it was, big countries. We look at Germany and France, Spain, all those things, and they will. By the way, guaranteed they will. It was the only country that sort of tried to hold back and put up money. But just, it's unbelievable what happened to you. Say, you're a dead country. We didn't respect the country, the leader. You're dead as a Burnell wants to say, went from being a dead country, but right now, the hottest country anywhere in the world, the whole world talking about the USA, and everybody wants a part of it. They're pouring into our country, and you're going to see those numbers. Thank you for that question.
Thank you, Mr. President. Question about Secretary President said that he hopes tariff deals with future to be done by Labor Day. So if some deals are not done by your line deadline, will some of these tariffs go back up? Will they stay with
Well, there's some countries that used to bring stuff, to be honest with you. I don't want to name them. You sort of name them. They're used to just, making billions and billions. Look, they had a trade deficit of more than $1 trillion. $1 trillion trade deficit. I suppose we cared a lot. Hundreds of billions of dollars to have. We had the greatest economy in history, but I would blow it away. But during my time, and especially prior to COVID, we had the greatest economy in this country. I think we'd blow it away. Based on the numbers we're saying. But some countries are very angry because they've been ripping stuff for years. They've been making billions and billions of dollars. It was nobody negotiating. They could do everything. They charged just tariffs, by the way, at numbers that we've never seen before. And we ended up losing more than $1 trillion a year. $1 trillion a year on trade. And now they're being met with the forces for greater than them. They don't like, so they're upset. Because instead of making, $5 billion, they're going to raise them. They'll kill it. That would be nice. They'll build a little bit. We'll make a little bit. It's a big difference.
Is there any information on the special prosecutor, Sonia Murphy's election for the 2020 election, and speaking of rogue judges, would consider appointing somebody at COJ maybe to investigate judges that allowed the political persecution you, your family, or supporters during the Biden administration?
I love you. Who are you?
I'm Power from Mendel.
Well, that's a very nice question. And it's not, I have no idea who you are. I appreciate that question. All I can say is, I hope so. I hope they're doing things because that election was rigged, stolen, and we can't allow that to happen. A lot of people tell me, sir, you just won the greatest election in the history of the country. You won at numbers that won all 7 swing states, won a popular vote, and everything. Sir, go with your life And many people say that. People, friends of mine, they have people that say that same thing. One of your life, you have to find out what happened because you can't let that happen again. Look what this lunatic did. Look what he did. He opened our borders to people that were murderers. 11,888 to big act murderers. And we've captured many of those murderers and we'll bring them back. Some of them so dangerous that we don't even want to bring them back. We're afraid they could try to come back in. But he allowed people to come into the country. People from mental institutions, sin asylums, that's a mental institution on steroids. People from mental institutions, gang members, drug dealers, people, jails, emptied out into Venezuela, emptied out almost its entire prison population into our country. But I don't want to blame them. Many countries have done that. The Congo, we have a great press conference coming out later, and it's the Congo and Rwanda. They were fighting for years, and it was machetes, it was vicious people's heads being chopped off. And the was very good in the world, very smart, and put together, and we're sending a peace treaty today. First time in many years they have peace, and it's a big deal. Talk about Russia, we're going to work more than that one. President Putin called up, he said, I'd love to help you with Iran. I said, do me a favor, I'll handle Iran. With Russia, we got to get that one settled. I think something's going to happen there. But we did some work. India, Pakistan, I was going to be maybe nuclear. We did that. We did a lot of work. I don't know if there's ever been a president that's done much more. Serbia, Kosovo, we're going to go at it. It's going to be a big war. He said, you go at it. There's no trade with the United States. They said, well, maybe we won't go at it. That's what happened with India and Pakistan. We were negotiating with both of them. And this guy said to Howard, cancel all deals with India and Pakistan. They're not trading with us because they're in a war. We go back. What do we do? Say, look, you want to have trade with the United States, it's right. But you want to go start using nuclear weapons on each other, we're not going to love that. And they both have great leaders. They both agree not to do so. It's sweet a lot. I appreciate that question.
I'm just being with Sir Ron Johnson, big beautiful bill. He said he really wants to get yes for you, get some.
Yeah, he's a good man.
But he also that he needs more time. He's not certain that you'll have the deadline is
Well,
possible.
he's good. Ron Johnson's doing a good job. He's very committed. Every Republican senator is committed. And, you could have a couple of Glenn Sanders, in all fairness. You could have somebody else. It's very dangerous because our country would go from the most successful country in the world. Who knows what happens with the 68% tax increase? That would give them by the Democrats. Because they like high taxes. I don't know what happened. All my life, I grew up and watched politicians talking. And I said, oh, that's fun. And they were always saying, we will cut your taxes. We will cut your taxes. I never did. They say, we will raise your taxes. And the electoral guy in New York maybe has a chance. I don't know how to believe it, but he maybe has a chance. They won't raise your taxes. So they want to see a 68% tax increase. That's money that anybody could afford to go into depression if that happened. So I think there's a lot of pressure to get that approved.
Is the July 4th to
In the end, don't go along, but we'd like to get it by the time possible. Look, we have a lot of argument people, they feel very strongly about a subject that I didn't think about or important to Republicans. The problem we have is that it's a great bill. It's a popular bill, but we get no Democrats only because they don't want to vote for Trump. If that board was the bill, they would be so happy. It's great for military, it's great for everything. And they would normally, because they hate Trump, they have Trump derangement syndrome levels of it before. And instead of voting for a tax cut, they voted for a tax increase of 68%. They voted to destroy Social Security, destroy Medicare, and destroy Medicaid. We voted to make them perfect and to make them better, make them stronger. And they're going to destroy Medicaid, and they're going to destroy Medicare, and Social Security will follow. If you vote the Democrats, you're dead. One of those three things.
On this subject, many Democrats have said they are not going to support crypto bills only because of you and your family's personal crypto ventures. I think both need to pass. Are you open to the idea of pulling away from your personal crypto ventures for the next few years that help get these cryptos passed in the next months?
It was a very funny thing, crypto. So I became a fan of crypto, and me as industry, you as industry, and the president. And we didn't have China or somebody else who would most likely China would love to. And we dominated that. It's a big industry, by the way. When the stock market went down recently, crypto and Bitcoin and went down much less than anybody else in the group. And we created a very powerful industry. It's much more important than anything that we invest in. Yeah, we invest in it, but really the industry that was doing particularly well. I got involved with it a couple of years ago. And before the second term, I got involved before I decided to run. Not only since because what was happening, Biden was incompetent, and the administration was crooked and incompetent, and I was in Bitcoin debt, not knowing if I was going to do it a third time. So it became a left judges is a tremendous. This is such a big day. This is such a big day. It's like it's sort of sad because we're descending 3 o'clock at the end of the day. We're down at the sign of a big war that was going on and really affecting the continent of the entire continent of Africa was being affected. We said, well, we still got work today, and the two probably headline. This is a very big moment, and it gives this power back to people, including Congress, including the presidency. And it only takes bad power away from judges. It takes bad power, sick power, and unfair power. And it's really it's a very monumental decision.
Is that a set tariffs now, or could there be a...
We can do whatever we want. We can get your make sure. I could just send letters to everybody. Congratulations, you're giving 25%. He's a nice person. Go ahead, you fish up.
Are you speeding up the process?
Oh, he's thorough. I mean, I have a list of things, 38 on a list. Cameroon, different places paying the same as us. Because you have somebody that's rated 4% to 4.5%, something about a day, you should be paying 1%, one of your school experts doing it. The sad part is, as per the question, you have tariffs, we have the tariffs, and we have less efficient, we have more. Well, we have to have a lot more money, a lot more income, and we should be paying a rate like that. In other words, when we pay a rate, say each point is the equivalent of $300 billion. So if we had it down 3 points, because I think we'd be one, you have Switzerland is 0.25, that was 25% of 1%, and number one right now, but we should be the number one. So you're going to have, I think you're going to have the people pay that, we'll pay like we had a few years ago, where you put up money, you own money, and then you actually, instead of paying, you get paid. I love that. I don't know if it's any good, but I love it. We put up money, you get paid. We should be in a category, so we should be top of the list, toward the bottom of the list. But we have a man who's not a smart man, and he probably has some arrangement, and And he's just not a lawyer. He's doing those that's a year's time. Because borrow money at 2 points higher than we should be paying. That's $600 million. Wouldn't you say this is about right? So it's 2 points about 600, more than that, 600 million. He's doing this, and big up. I think she also comes down, gets up and he does a little thing off him and says, and he goes back to the beat. He goes, I just also, well, I think it costs $900 billion a year. He has to do a little race. Everybody was some of the business shows today and saying, Trump's right. He is really cutting. The country's doing well. We have no inflation. Now, despite him, we're doing great. But we had raised him, we would be a rocket ship. So I think I just want to thank everybody. This is a really big day. We had a big week. We've had a lot of victories this week. It was a victory. The war was immense. We talked about this for 30 years about Iran being nuclear. No, I said this will not be nuclear, and it's not going to be nuclear. And I want to give credit to a lot of people. Most importantly, worried about that fire. Once that happened, once this bomb got out, the war was over. The war was over. But I just want to thank the general and all his general. Pete Hegseth was great. And now I want to compliment Pam. Other means went this. People, if you don't get exactly right, if the Supreme Court doesn't get it because it's incorrectly spoken about, and that happens. A lot of cases of office, they don't say the right words. I want to question that as the great Attorney General. I hate changing my mind about that. I don't know, maybe somebody else has cause. I will get. She's doing that as the great Attorney General. This was trends, and we've had trends with this system this day. So I just want to congratulate you and Todd and your whole staff for brilliant people. Can't make it so. It was amazing. I mean, it's the job that it produces, and I notice more and more you're paying Bitcoin, and people that take a lot of pressure with the dollar. That's a great thing for our country. So I don't care about investing. I have my kids, they invest, and they do believe in it. I'm president, and they do. There's both an industry that's very important. If we didn't have a kind of wood. Okay. Good glasses.
So, are you looking at funds in the central space for the supporting legal immigration and this work?
Yeah, we'll give them more time.
Also,
they're not going to California. They have a mail, see to people that nobody's seen before. If we did go into Los Angeles with the military, which is a fantastic, if we did go to Los Angeles, bringing the National Guard out of the military was necessary because the route was another thing held by the Supreme Court. But if we did go in with the National Guard and be throwing it out, you would maybe have a situation. So we look at the rest of California, the rest of Los Angeles, they lost 25,000 houses under fire. They lost none. I sent the order down. I had to bring into the water supply because just refused to do it. They're crazy. Something with them. They have plenty of water. They don't have droughts or anything. They have let it come down from the Pacific Northwest. They routed all the water out to the Pacific Ocean. For environmental reasons, okay? And now we have 25,000 houses. None of which would have been down if you had the water. They never water. They never have the fire pumps. They didn't have water spring systems that people put in. So the answer is we're going to work with others. We're going to work with radical Democrats and Democrats. We're going to make it good for everybody. We have to stop the crime. This. The case of the city's case about all cities with hate crime are run by Democrats. Good. Yeah, with us. Good, yes. Yeah, I know.
Okay, the US, they were thinking a lot. So you say all that, and regarding the Lebanon, what inside any thing in Lebanon regarding the
Lebanon is a great place. We're bringing people, known for the professors, doctors, and had an incredible history. Hopefully we can bring it back. And I just a friend of mine is Lebanese, and I didn't know he was Lebanese. I've known him for 20 years, very successful man. And just pointed him. I said, why would you want that? He said, because I was born there, I was raised there, I love it. I love it so much. I said, it's very dangerous in Lebanon as ambassador. And he said, that's what he said, I don't care about danger. I mean, this guy that is a very big business guy. He wants to give up his whole life to go to Lebanon because he believes in his own mind. We're with Lebanon all the way, we're trying to straighten that out. Through my life, yeah, they have to get the Trumpy feeling every once in a while. Get the Trumpy feeling, you know what, it's okay. It's a dangerous business. What I do is a dangerous business. You can tell the story of companies and different people, different professions. Race car drivers, as an example. 1/10 of 1% die. Bull riders, 1/10 of 1%. That's a lot, but it's bull die. When president is about 5%. If somebody would have told me that, we wouldn't have run. Okay? This is a very dangerous profession. Shoot, but with so many questions. We keep going. This is the opposite of Biden. If I would take half, I should leave without answering. You tell me when it's boring.
If wrong.
Are you wrong?
No, but if in other reports conclude that Iran can remain to a level that concerns you, Jews are going to
sure, with a question. It has to be unbelievable. Our incredible fires and our, I come to see simply like 52,000 feet, they hit the equivalent of a refrigerator. It actually hit right in the center, so it's much more than that. And just bomb after bomb going deeper, bomb up. Incredible. I don't know if you're the general, very impressive raising game. He didn't want to beat ISIS for me. He did it in a matter of weeks. And it was always going to take 4 or 5 years. And when I got the job, I always said, get this job, I'm going to that guy's the head of the judicial staff. And Dan Kennedy, when I heard his name was his nickname, he said, you got to kill. So I looked right from the beginning, but knocked the eyes and tied nobody with a muscle. And when Saddam was completed and successful, now you know how you knock ISIS so quickly. But we have the best people, we have the best equipment in the world. And I rebuilt the military during my 4 years, my term with the problems. A lot of it, more really, a lot of it over Afghanistan happened. It shows how they give that equipment, $1 billion where it should happen. But it was more clear we had a big military with people.
Congratulations on the very professor. One is around 1994 as you got New York Law expert. Congratulations on the tree. There are talks that perhaps.
It's going to take place at 3 o'clock. We'll have singing. We were on and Congo. So I'm a little bit out of my league. That one is I didn't know too much about. I don't think they were going there many years and with machetes. It is one of the worst wars anyone's ever seen. And I just have to ask somebody who was able to tell to me. It's a brilliant person who is very comfortable in that part of the world. It's a very dangerous part of the world. Is anyone comfortable there? People are being killed, school children being raided and killed. I don't even say how, but it's viciously I've ever. Are you uncomfortable? No, this part of the world, no. Very comfortable. was able to get together and not only that, again, for the United States, a lot of mineral rights will come out for it. They're so honored to be here. They never thought they'd be coming to. This is a very tough part of the world. They never thought it was they never thought they'd ever be coming to the White House, and they're so honored and so give big reception. But it's to me, it's waiting. It's 3 o'clock.
Are you still a secret nuclear site, right?
Secret nuclear site?
That's their piece of the number.
They're excited. It's just excited to do. I hope both of them. And both wanted to settle, both of them. And did it right, but they're exhausted. The last thing they think about right now is nuclear. You know, they think about tomorrow trying to live such a mess. It's such a mess. It was bomb hell. And no, I'm not worried about it at all. And I'm putting it at a safe time to respond to the Ayatollah statement yesterday that we won the war. We won the war. I said, look, you're a man of great faith, a man who's highly respected in this country. Tell the to hell. And it'll be up to. They'll both be up. And it was a quick time, and it was quick. They got the hate out. A lot of hate. A lot of hate. It was good if they didn't have that hate. But the last thing that they care about is nuclear weapons right now.
So very efficient, guys.
I saw him.
Thank you so much for coming out.
Other than Caroline's administration. You're referring to the administration, not Caroline.
Yes. Back to the rules, if you don't mind. So you have all talked about win for the American people.
Right.
How do you think this will enable you to further support American families and workers across the country? No one will come immigration when it comes to trade, energy, actions are moving you for
Well,
now.
taking power away from these absolutely crazy about. This morning, the Supreme Court has delivered a monumental victory for the Constitution, separation of powers, and the rule of law, striking out the executive nationwide injustice to interfere with the normal functioning of the executive branch. The Supreme Court has stopped the president's office they've done, and really it's been an amazing period of time this last hour. The people illegally all over the country see such happiness. Sometimes you don't see that case. Very important. I was elected on a historic mandate, but in recent months we've seen a handful of radical judges effectively try to overrule the rightful powers of the president to stop the American people from getting policies that they voted for in record numbers. It was a great threat to democracy, frankly, and instead of merely ruling on the immediate cases before them, these judges have attempted to dictate the law for the entire nation. In practice, this meant that if any one of the nearly 700 federal judges disagreed with policy of a newly elected president of the United States, she could block the policy from going into effect, or at least delay it for years, tied up in the court system. This was a colossal abuse of power which never occurred in American history prior to recent decades, and we did with more nationwide injunctions that were issued in the entire 20th century. Yeah, I think about more than the entire 20th century. Me. I'm grateful to the Supreme Court for stepping in and solving the very, very big and complex problem they made very simple. I want to thank Justice Barrett, who wrote the opinion brilliantly, as well as Chief Justice Roberts, and Justices Alito, Gorsuch, Kavanaugh, and Thomas. Good people. Thank for this decision, and thanks to this decision, we can now promptly file to proceed with numerous policies that have been long enduring on a nationwide basis. Some of the cases we're talking about will be ending birthright citizenship, which now comes to the fore. Those are the big beast slaves. People trying to scam this and come into the country on vacation. This was, in fact, the same date, the exact same date at the end of the Civil War, we entered the babies of slaves, and it's so clean and so obvious. But they let us go there and finally win that case because hundreds of thousands of people bring to a country under birthright citizenship. It wasn't for that reason. It was meant for the big beasts of slaves. So thanks to this decision, we can now file to proceed with these policies and those that have been wrongly joined on a nationwide basis and looking for citizenship, ending that receive funding, spending refugee resettlement, freezing unnecessary funding, stopping federal taxpayers from paying for transgender surgery, and numerous other priorities of the American people. We have so many of them. I hold it. I'm going to you. I'm going to have it up and say a few words, but there's really a long sequence. This is a very important decision. This issue covers a tremendous amount of area. But I wanted to thank again the Supreme Court of this ruling. It's giant. It's a giant. And they should be very proud, and our country should be very proud of the Supreme Court today. With that, I'd like to listen to the word of Pam. She's incredible Attorney General. We're very proud of her. And as you know, with us, and we have so many other cases, other cases, and they can do a good job. Thank you.
Thank you, President Trump. Thank you for fighting all Americans. Americans are finally getting what they voted for. No longer will we have rogue judges striking down President Trump's policies across the entire nation. No longer. Today, the 6th opinion to bear correctly holds the district court lacks authority to enter nationwide or universal injunctions. These lawless injunctions give relief to everyone in the world instead of the parties before court. As the Supreme Court held today, they turn district courts into the imperial judiciary. Active liberal justices, judges have used injunctions to block virtually all of President Trump's policies. To put it in perspective, there are 94 federal judicial districts. 5 of those districts throughout this country held 35 nationwide injunctions. Think about that. 94 districts. 35 out of 40 opinions with nationwide injunctions came from 5 liberal districts in this country. No longer. No longer. These injunctions have blocked their policies from terrorist military readiness to immigration, foreign affairs, fraud, abuse, and many other issues. The judges have tried to seize the executive branch's power, and they cannot do that. No longer. No longer. And on immigration, on a side note, Denmark's 2,711 arrests on these terrorists and these gangs. Total arrests today with HSI investigation. Thank you, Stephen Miller. Thank you to Homeland Security. Thank you to everyone working hand in hand with FBI on all these transnational gangs. TA had been a huge terror. It was the MS-13, as well as the local cartel. No longer. No longer. These injunctions have allowed district court judges to reimburse. They vetoed all of President Trump's power, and they cannot do that. This has been a bipartisan problem. It has lasted 5 presidential terms, 5 different presidents, and it has ended today. We will continue to fight President Trump's policy. I want to thank the Office of Vice Counsel DeVore and staff been incredible. Our Solicitor General's Office, John Sauer, Sarah Harris, and Tyler Angel and Bovey. Because we had another major ruling today on transgender books and some other great wins that we have. But no longer they have this power in our country. It's the president's authority through his executive branch to do everything to fight for the American people, and will continue to do that. That's why he's overwhelmingly elected. Thank you.
Thank you. Today is a great day for rule of law. It's a great day for the Justice Department. It's one that's been a long time coming and one that every American should have been waiting for. And so I hope the President said, Attorney General, that the a great day today, not only for the administration, for every American in the country. If not for the N18G case, we'd be talking about another great decision that came down to the Tehran case, which restored parents' rights to decide their child education. It seems a basic idea to the Supreme Court to just the everything for that. That will allow parents to opt out of dangerous trans ideology and make a decision for their children. So we thank the Supreme Court for that. There's multiple decisions over the past several weeks that just show why this injunction, the lashed injunction ban had happened. For example, what I mean by that is local district court judges issuing decisions that are clearly contrary to law just because they don't like the policy of President Trump. When you get the Supreme Court, the board has to correct it. That takes time. Turns out our lawyers and all do it again. Our lawyers are working 24 hours a day, 7 days a week to fight these injunctions to emergency appeals, emergency states, going back to the short judge, asking them to review. And so they're hard because we were paying off save over the past week. We have saved an order to prevent DHS from moving aliens to their country. We have saved an order to stop the part of them implementing military radius, the deal that Trump signed. We have another saved an order forcing the state to fight to branch employees, entirely when the president also do his right to do. We have saved, as you all know, numerous DOJ cases. Again, every one of those days requires a tremendous amount of work and effort by the lawyers and parties involved, and they should do another work. They should do the work that the President, this administration demands as a right to demand, and not fight these local judges who don't make decisions based on the law. It makes sense. They just simply agree with the administration decision about policy, and that's wrong. Thank you.
Yes,
Thank you, Mr. General. So as you know, the Supreme Court did not rule on the underlying constitutionality of the President's proposed order. So what is the plan now? Would you try to implement the justice where there isn't a legal challenge?
Birthright citizenship will be decided in October, next session, by the Supreme Court. Let's come down in the next few minutes. I also could come down I'm still delivering right now on the case that says we just transgender, both his future man, but most likely that will be decided in October in the next session. However, it directly passes us, because you correctly pointed out, if there's a birthright citizenship case in Oregon, it will only affect the plaintiff in Oregon, not the entire country. So it's indirectly about paying litigation or being in that term.
Now, sir, the Supreme Court will come back and determine that the executive order is
Oh, we're very confident in the Supreme Court. But again, sending litigation, that will directly be determined and indirectly impact every case in this country. We're thrilled with the decision today. Peter.
Questions to the EO goes, the free period goes into it. There are any thoughts on making it effective immediately in that period of time?
We're going to follow the law. We're going to make those decisions and we're going to do what's right in that law.
And then didn't ask the justice law merits of birthright citizenship ban. Why?
Sure, because that's going to come down in October. This was used because indirect impact tech, as I said, is not case by case. Let me reiterate, of the 35 of the 30 nationwide injunctions filed against this president, against this executive order as president of the United States, 35 of them came from Maryland, D.C., Massachusetts, California, and Washington. It was crazy. These 5 districts, yes, it indirectly impacts. It will be printed in October.
Point of view, sir. Do you leave this and the power of lower court judges to stop your agenda? Just as a full green light for your agenda going forward.
Well, you'd have to really speak to the Lord about that. This is really also a decision based on common sense. It worked that way. It was a disaster. Somebody from a single location in a very liberal state or liberal group of judges had typed all the country for years because a decision would sometimes take years to over and the decisions we would just do it. And we have to act quickly. When it comes to the little issue, we have murderers, killers, we have drug dealers, we have what they've allowed to come to our country. It should never be found. It should never be found if they've done to our country. And we have to be able to act very quickly, and we can do that.
And just sir, I don't think we her opinion here in this case. She has taken some heat from some of your supporters who were weak as a rattled law professor. What's your take on that?
About that, I should have respect for. I always have. And decision brilliantly written from all against.
Would you say Americans who feel this is more and more concentration of power in the House and
This is the Constitution. This is what's so about. And it's really opposite of that. And the question about it is the opposite. The Constitution is the
Thanks so much, President Trump. Equal process is clear. Zero now.
Zero. There's really zero.
Somebody go yay!
I like him. He's working cameras. As an example, not South America, but NATO, they agree opportunity. There's nobody thought it was possible. They took 2%, nobody took it 2%, out of the 5%. It's over $1 trillion more a year. Get $1 trillion. Nobody thought it could happen. There's a group of people, different countries, we get all the countries are. We are respecting it. Our country, the U.S., is respecting it, was not respected 6 months ago. Yeah, it is.
Yes, right. Go ahead. Coming upon trade weeks. What countries are trade tariffs? What countries are experiencing the trade tariffs?
We've been able to China, we've been able to probably 4 or 5 different countries, with the UK, with Quick Deal for both. We're in the process of making some well, but in fact, started here, and how long these guys are doing an incredible job. The people work with them doing an incredible job. But you know, we 200 countries, 200 countries into that. So at a certain point over the next week and a half or before, we're going to send out a letter. We talk to many of the countries. We're just going to tell them what they have paid to do as in the United States. And get over quickly. Some of the big countries, so I think we're going to reach it over with the right to own trade. And now it's restricted. You can't get a full trade barrier dropping, which is unthinkable. I'm not sure that's going to happen. So this one we agree that they're going to trade China. It's going to come a little bit down the road. It wouldn't be trading China. Evaluating going with the countries. Some will just point it. There's going to have to be tariffs. And we've taken in already hundreds of billions of dollars of tariffs. No inflation. The only problem we have is we have a Fed guy that doesn't understand what's happening. And it would be great if it goes to be tomorrow a lot cheaper. Don't keep it. This is a big subject. The wide rate is so big, but I don't know. I think this is a good trade. Please, go ahead. Go ahead.
Sir, the Grand Ruling, the Supreme Court ruling that parents with religious objections can hold their kids out of public school lessons that use LGBTQ material.
I think the ruling is a great ruling. I think it's a great ruling for parents. It's a really ruling for parents. They lost control of the school. They lost control of the child. And this is a tremendous victory for parents. I'm not surprised by it, but I'm surprised that it went this far. to us being spectral, parental, and kept saying we will give you back your parental rights. They've taken away, and this is a tremendous favor for pension.
So, if you look back at last week, it's extraordinary in terms of the act in the Middle East or the Hague.
How week hasn't?
Now, if you believe Iran, one after you believe Iran has been its long history of been with nuclear weapons. So, what would you like to see from them to prove they do? And what type of meetings is there this looking for next week with Iran?
So, one will see. As you know, there's sites were literate of evil nuclear sites who now has been having fake news a little while. The people that covered the Hunter laptop was from Russia. The same people that did 3 or 4 Russia shows. No, they came up with something that delayed the credit that pilots and Screen America made. What that was, and they hit it right down spot. 52,000 feet. I think it is dark. No moon could see a thing. They refrigerated doors. They said the size of a target. And overwhelmingly, and it's amazing what was done. We only could have done it and took out 2 of the other sites, and it didn't fish them all. It was very evil intention. I believe that, and again, I'm telling, but I don't believe that they're going to go back to nuclear. In terms of, they spent over $1 trillion on nuclear, they got together. Nothing would have been the two. That is very dangerous, very, very heavy mineral. Those cars were muscle cars because they were pouring concrete at the hatches, hatch going into the nuclear site. Wanted to reinforce it and have some masons there pouring concrete. By the way, the concrete was obliterated. It exactly the concrete. It was, I think that just dry. But everything's down there. It's under billions of tons of rock. Yeah. Well, they built a massive business system, and I don't know exactly why, but it's a hell of a system, and we've been told that, and they don't get out. Frankly, they they'd become nice people. They become very nice people. It's a tough system, but it's a brilliant system. It's a system very, very good. I'll talk about it. So, love respect.
As you go into negotiations with Iran, are you making not only there be no Iranian inside Iran, but also that Iran would turn over existing thoughts?
Well, literally that, but something like that. Let me say, I've been saying for 25 years, Steve has said you cannot let them have nuclear weapons, and so happened. It's obliterated. It'll be years before it can ever get going. I really think it's probably less than they have to recover from a hell of a tough war.
Although you admitted that IAEA have full weights in Iran.
Somebody, yeah, we're somebody that including ourselves.
And a question for the idea, on birthright citizenship, physical, who would task actual vetting, and how this situation versus doctors, checking, persistent parents?
This opinion litigation is going to be decided in October by Supreme Court Wilson South Litigation.
Today, would that be the priority?
The violent criminals in our country are a priority in a limited perspective. Today marks 2,711 arrests in our country of TDA members. Just TDA. Everyone in this room agrees they are one of the most violent criminal organizations in the world. And the Biden administration that walked into our country for the last 4 years. 2,711 of them today have been arrested in our country. That's the priority. Donald Trump, that's the priority is of Homeland Security. All our lawyers die. That's the priority. That will be discussed in October with Supreme Court rule in our favor, and I'm very confident of that. You should all be safe now that President Trump can deport all of these, getting non-district court judge can convict an emperor over the administration and executive power and the people of the United States decided.
I just made that the use of citizenship from the word evil because people who are anti, and then I say, look at the end of the Civil War, the 1800s, you take the end of 1869 or whatever, but that's when they kiss file. And they should lay effort. This has to do with the babies of slaves, very, very obviously. And I think when people did, what about just asking about how long we looked and we said, wait a minute, this is wrong. People looked at birthday citizenship for here, but they used it because birthday citizenship to very people and PEMZO and everybody else, while they bring a EJ and all FBI, ICE, border, they're incredible people. They're trying to keep the country safe, and they don't want to have people come in and see us another way that they get illegal immigrants into a country, and in some cases, very, very bad ones.
Senators are racing to heard right now after the Senate parliamentarian ruled that facts of it for outside of the process those tips through. Do you think that senators should respect the decision of the parliamentarian? And what do you heard done in the last 48 hours trying to get Republican senators against bill 2 yes?
Well, look, it's a good bill. It's a matter of tax. If it's not approved, your taxes go up by 68%. I think that's 68 or the highest in this. The number won't approve it only because politically it's voted for Republicans. Because they're not approving border security.